Good evening. I'd like to call the June 10th, 2024 meeting of the Adair County Board of Education to order. We're meeting at the Adair County Administrative Building in Manteo, and the time is 5 o'clock. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment of silence. I'd like to take the time now to recognize two of our county commissioners, Mr. House and Ms. Bassnight. Thank you all for being here tonight, supporting, as you always have, for Adair County Schools. Now I'll turn the meeting over to our representative, Mr. Matt Brower.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the last Adair County Schools regular meeting of the 23-24 school year. We got a lot of stuff on the agenda to cover, so without further ado, if you would all stand, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Twitty.
Thank you, sir. First order of business tonight is the administration of the oath of office to our students selected to serve as our student advisory. And alternates also. If Ms. Fowler, if you would take it, Ms. Denise, you take it over.
Thank you, Mr. Twitty. I'm really excited to be here this evening. Again, we have our student advisors and our alternates will all be sworn in. We have two from each of our high schools, and these students are upcoming seniors. So without further ado, we'll do those in alphabetical order. Our first one is Elizabeth Fairbanks. Elizabeth this evening is joined by her mother, Nicole Fairbanks. Okay. Okay. Well, come on up.
Do you have a copy?
Yes. Oh, no.
Mom to hold the, can I do this?
Yeah.
Mom's gonna hold. There you go, and you're going, there you go. Okay. Is that good for you?
Yes. Please, Please raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Elizabeth Fairbanks,
Do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution of the laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not consistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as a student advisor to the Adair County Board of Education.
as a student advisor to the Adair County Board of Education.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Just sign right there.
All right.
So we'll just do the next one.
Okay. What was your name again?
Jay Gonzalez.
Our second student this evening is from, again, Elizabeth represents Cape Hatteras Secondary School. Our second student this evening is Tobias Fleckenstein, and he represents Manteo High School. He is joined this evening by his mother, Erin Fleckenstein, and his father, Matthew Fleckenstein. Come on up. Okay. Mom and Dad here? Oh, there they are. Okay. Did you want a Bible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, get Mom or Dad to hold it. Well, let Mom do that. Okay.
Please raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Tobias Fleckenstein,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office as a student advisor
of my office as a student advisor
to the Dare County Board of Education.
to the Dare County Board of Education.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You just sign.
Thank you, sir.
And our third student representative from First Flight High School is Emerson Mann. He is joined this evening by his mother, Christina Bowen, and his father, Chris Mann.
Please raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Emerson Mann,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Our next students this evening will be alternates to serve in these positions and on our district leadership team. Our next student is Caroline Fuller, representing Cape Hatteras Secondary School. Caroline is joined this evening by her mother, Amanda Hagee, and her father, Arthur Fuller.
All right, please raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Caroline Fuller,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Our next student alternate to the Board of Education advisory role is Spencer Twyford from Manteo High School. He is joined this evening by his mother, Clara Daniel Sherman, and his father, David Halstead Twyford Jr.
Raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Spencer Twyford,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay. And our last student this evening, representing First Flight High School in the alternate role, is Skylar Wilson. She is joined this evening by her father, Brian Wilson.
I state your name,
I, Skylar Wilson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
as a student advisor to the Dare County Board of Education.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Hands out to the students and get the copies and then distribute them accordingly. Jay.
I just want to thank Jay Gonzalez he's an assistant clerk of Superior Court with the Dare County Civil Division for being here tonight to help us with this. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, do we have to do this before? Okay,
You have all the copies.
okay. It's a lot of paperwork. I apologize. Okay, there we go.
I'd like to congratulate our new students advisories tonight. We're looking forward to working with you in the upcoming meetings. Very excited for us. Next is approval of the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Ms. Balance has a motion on the floor to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Oh.
Second by Ms. Bothwell. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Aye carries. I'll turn the meeting now over to Mr. Bassnight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. I covered the early college development timeline for the board at the special called meeting that we had a week or so ago. I just wanted to make sure there weren't any questions that the board wanted to address or ask me about the timeline before we move forward.
No, it was clear as day.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Bassnight. Now I'll turn the meeting over to public comments. Ms. Hitch?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a reminder on the public comment guidelines, the Dare County Board of Education welcomes the opportunity to hear from the public during regularly scheduled meetings. The public comment period is open for members of the public, including parents and students, to voice compliments, concerns, complaints about matters like implementation of board policy, quality of education program, or school facilities. According to Policy 2340, presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Obscene, vulgar, or profane statements, personal attacks and insults, and statements that are disruptive to the orderly operation of the meeting shall not be permitted. Tonight, Mr. Chair, we have 4 folks signed up for public comment, and I'm just going to call them in the order they showed up in the folder. So the first one is Marie White.
Chairman Twitty, Board of Education, and Superintendent Bass Knight. My name is Marie White, and I have 2 grandchildren who are in elementary school right now, so that's where I am. After attending most of the Board of Education and Dare County Commissioners meetings, I still have not heard the answer to the question that many of the Dare citizens have. Why is your top priority the early college as opposed to the building needs of the schools in Dare County? This is a budget issue. This is not about pro or con early college. I'm not talking about early college tonight. The Dare County Board of Education has identified in a previous meeting building needs and presented a list to the Dare County Commissioners. The Manteo High School field house, the auxiliary gym, and additional classrooms, and the new renovations to the cafeteria at Cape Hatteras do not need to be put off for another 4 to 5 years. I cannot address what's been going on at Cape Hatteras. I cannot address the needs at First Flight High School, but since they are over capacity right now, how can you wait another 4 to 5 years to help alleviate the overloading of the students in those buildings? But Manteo High School was promised a new field house with much needed public restrooms since 2018-19. Building plans were presented and $400,000 was put in the budget, and then it disappeared, and all the while nothing happening with the field house. Meanwhile, the condition of the field house deteriorated to the point that the health department threatened to shut it down. Only then did the Board of Education act. So you can imagine how the Manteo High School parents, coaches, and students felt when they realized that you have $25 million in lottery funds and have chosen to make the early college your number one priority. Again, my question is why? Those of us who oppose spending this money for the early college now before funding our current schools are being accused of not caring for what's best for the children. That's not true. We care for all of the students in Dare County, not just a very small percentage. We care about the children who need additional classroom space, those who deserve a decent field house and more than one bathroom when they attend the home athletic events, those students who deserve a new flood-free kitchen and cafeteria, those students who need an auxiliary gym, and all the students who attend any school in Dare County that have building projects that need funding now. I would like to see the early college move back to the budget in 2028 and move our current schools' building needs forward now. This is a budget issue, so I am respectfully requesting this board fund our current schools building projects and make our current schools your number one priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. White. Next, I have George Lurie, L-U-R-I-E.
Dear members of the Board of Education and Superintendent Bass Knight, my name is George Lurie, and I'm the lay leader of the Jewish community of the Outer Banks. My wife and I have lived here almost 21 years, and I taught math as an adjunct at COA for 10 and a half years. I'm here today to thank you and the Dare County schools and teachers for accepting the JCOB as a resource for your continuing Holocaust educational program and anything Jewish. Additionally, so specifically, I need to thank Denise Fallon for graciously allowing us to be a resource now and in the years to come, to Dr. Amber Hardison at Manteo High School for inviting me to speak to her English class and a colleagues on Judaism on April 9th, to Ms. Ricky Stewart and Ms. Janelle Erickson at First Flight Middle School for encouraging 22 of their students to submit essays for our Yom HaShoah memorial service and essay contest on May 3rd, to Ms. Stewart and Suzanne Blackstock for inviting us to attend the First Flight Middle School Assembly Program on the Holocaust on May 14th, during which time a music piece commissioned by Ms. Blackstock was played for the first time. The JCOB plans on using that during our annual Yom HaShoah service beginning in 2025 and during this year's Yom Kippur service in mid-October. And finally, to Mr. Steve Hanf at First Flight High School for working with the JCOB to include an op-ed response in the spring issue of Nighthawk News to an article on the situation in Gaza that was published in their winter issue. Mr. Hanf and his class have been active for many years in the Yom HaShoah essay contest, and I want to thank him for his efforts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Lurie. Katie Morgan.
All right. Hello, I'm Katie Morgan. I'm speaking on the early college. I'm very impressed that this board has decided to take a pause to obtain a more current polling of parents, students, and staff before moving forward on such a big undertaking, which would take $25 million away from other projects desperately needed within our Dare County public school system. I remember just a few months ago sending emails to the Marine Fisheries Commission, giving them pushback for using data on striped mullet from 2019 when they were about to make big changes. I knew that we would definitely, for sure, want more current data from our students when deciding on future decisions for our children. So good on y'all. My only other concern goes back to the health and well-being of our current and future students and staff. I read the air quality report and noticed for First Flight Middle School on May 7th, 2024, the report says that samples from 10 of the 21 areas sampled showed a fungal amplification of altered indoor environment on this day. It is therefore recommended that further sampling be conducted along with visual inspection and moisture measurements in an attempt to identify the source. And that was May 7th this year. I was informed at the beginning of this meeting that these recommendations will be done until they're told they don't need to be tested anymore, which is great. They have not been done yet, but it's still awesome they're going to happen. My personal observation, though, is that at the Board of Commissioners meeting, it was stated that there are no public health concerns in our schools. In my opinion, it is my opinion that these tests should probably be done and passed to confidently assert that there are in fact no public health concerns in our schools. Also, would it be a good idea to do a moisture measurement test at Cape Hatteras Secondary School in the kitchen? I'm no expert, but it may ease some people's concerns. Other than that, y'all are doing a great job, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. And last but not least, Ms. Cage, Judy Cage.
Hi, I'm Judy Cage. I'm a Manteo High School parent. I am here regarding early college. I'm requesting that the following information be presented to the public at the planned town hall meeting. There should be an opinion survey conducted afterwards to include all current Dare County school parents and guardians, and those results should be made public. Dare County Schools Administration must create an anonymous survey for all of its staff to allow them to provide honest feedback without the threat of recrimination. I think you might be surprised what you hear. This should also be presented publicly. In addition, we need to see the written objective policy that will be used for admission, such as the preferred and precise income ranges, which acronym designations will be given preference as an ESL and AVID, and which staff position will be ultimately responsible for the final acceptance decision. We need to see the written subjective criteria for assessing the student's mandatory in-person interview performance for admission. Will a student with poor vocabulary and poor eye contact be admitted because he is ESL? Will a well-spoken and well-dressed student be denied admission due to her higher income status? In my opinion, that's the definition of discrimination. We also need to know the policy for deciding who gets denied admission and why. Will there be a public lottery if applications exceed spaces? Surely funding for a new and closed access school wasn't requested without its admission criteria policies already being in place and available to the public. What percent of early college classes will be delivered online, which is how the majority of COA DARES classes are currently held? That needs to be transparent. What is the accurate bus schedule, the leaving times, the home arrival times, and the times on the road to and from the proposed campus? First Flight was opened in 2004 in part due to travel complaints. 20 years later, Dare County Schools is proposing it again in exponentially heavier traffic. In closing, I want to remind you that solid leadership is demonstrated by the ability to listen and change course when you find yourself going in the wrong direction. independent, and nonpartisan thinking is a sign of strength, not weakness, and will gain the respect of this county much faster than being an echo chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Page. That's it for public comment, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Hitch. We'll now move over to announcements and recognition. Mr. Bass Knight?
Thanks, sir. The first announcement recognition we want to give tonight was the recognition for the academically gifted programs in Dare County schools that we received from the state of North Carolina last month. This is from the Department of Public Instruction. Congratulations. The North Carolina Department of Public Instruction's Office of Advanced Learning and Gifted Education is pleased to highlight your district's AIG program as a promising practice for North Carolina's Call to Action for Equity and Excellent Strategic Initiative. Your district is highlighted in the Call to Action Guidebook 2.0 that will be housed on the Advanced Learning and Gifted Education website starting on May 15th. Your district has been highlighted for the promising practice of Dare County Schools Reframe Your Lens. Promising practice of uses Strength Finder and other interest inventory data to work with ELL, twice exceptional, and highly gifted students. Interest inventories are completed at once per year, and interest inventories allow AIG specialists to tap into areas of student strengths, providing enrichment and learning opportunities intentionally designed to meet students' needs. Regular classroom teachers to use the data to help create relationships, tailor instruction, and provide enrichment opportunities for students. At this year's AIG Coordinators Winter Institute, the highlighted districts were asked to share background, benefits, and challenges for each of the highlighted promising practices with their colleagues across the state. By seeing your district's promising practice in action, other districts will follow your lead in developing and implementing practices that will broaden access and expand opportunities. NCDPI looks forward to your school district's further work in this area. Advanced Learning and Gifted Education teams commend your support and focus on this initiative. And the next recognition is the First Flight High School Aviation class video summary of the first year.
Okay, so we're 10 months into this. We're approaching the end of the school year in 2024. We began back in August of 2023, and it's been a tremendous time to get us here right now. Those same 22 high school juniors and seniors that we've had have put forth an incredible journey. And it's a journey that's based on an aviation academic and shop safety foundation. And we've covered everything from how to use all the shop tools we have safely, building techniques, to really the physics of aviation as we've continued on. But we've also discussed a lot and worked a lot on things that simply make you successful. Finding opportunity is a matter of believing it's there, being organized, being structured, keeping your focus, being disciplined. And these are all things that are baked into every day here at First Flight High School's aviation class. I began the year as I'll finish it. I ask all the students, why not you? Why not you? Why not now? And why not now? Because for these guys, the future is bright and unlimited. And what the mentors and what we all want this program to do is kind of expand their views and help them go out and grab what they want. So it's been 10 months per Tango Flight who we're working with here. We're on glide slope for construction as we continue to press hard for a June 25 completion of this RV-12 IS aircraft.
So I am going to Elizabeth City State, and as many people don't know, it's got a killer aviation program. It's top 3 in the country. This class made me realize that aviation is what I want to pursue.
You've seen some of the part we had. The tail cone, which is a huge, large piece, came together rather quickly at the end. And right now, I would say what we're doing now, this center. So it's a long process. And what's important, when we go back to the focus and discipline that we're really working to instill in all the students, is there are thousands of rivets, thousands of holes to match drill, thousands of things to do, and they all build upon each other. And if you're not focused and doing the right thing each time, you could set yourself back literally hundreds of hours of work.
It's just built my passion for it completely. Like, I want to be a pilot when I'm older. It clicks with me. I've really enjoyed Admiral Tench and what he's taught our class. I'm just looking forward to being kind of more of a leader, having that role, and just kind of being one that's more hands-on.
This is about aviation, but it's about opening up their scan to everything that's out there, because aviation is a team sport. It's not just about pilot and aircrew. There's all the maintainers, there's all the ground support, aircraft management, air traffic control. Aviation industry right now in the United States and around the world is wide open. And I want everybody to just take a look at that as they move forward. And some of the same skill sets that they working on here could play into many trades, HVAC, welding, just a ton of other trades.
I'm getting ready to take welding in the fall for COA. And this class really taught me a lot about working with metal and riveting. One thing I'm really looking forward to next year is flying in this plane that we're building.
The students have absolutely kept me enthused and engaged during the course of this year. And as excited as I was to get it started in August of 23, I'm double that excited to get it started in August of 24. We're gonna bring back 15 juniors who will jump back in, the 7 new folks who will pull in to bring our complement back up to 22. And I can't wait to get after it again next year.
And the last thing I want to highlight tonight is, and I thank Katie for the lead-in, the air quality test and the samples that we posted on the Dare County Schools site. Those samples are up for everyone. I think they were posted on the 24th. There was a recommendation at that time that we repeat those samples, but we also made some recommendations about how to deal. There were 2 areas that were two types of spores that were elevated in the building, and both of those dealt with wood deterioration. Here's the recommendations we made at the time. Remove any wooden blocks or locks that teachers have put in the sills to further secure the windows, as this wood may become damp and produce rot. Keep windows to the exterior closed at all time, allowing the HVAC system to remove any contaminants and keep outdoor contaminants outside. Limit the quality or the quantity of potted plants. Mulch and normal plant decay are the primary causes for both of the spores that were found elevated in the building. And now that the custodial staff is fully staffed, provide extra cleaning to horizontal surfaces like windowsills, countertops, and shelving, and remove any old and unnecessary items in storage closets, focusing on the ones across from the gang bathrooms where some of the spores were elevated. The first 3 points of this recommendation are of the highest priority. While they are important practices, strong emphasis should be placed there. Windows should not be open, especially this time of year, as spore counts are elevated due to winter weeds and grasses beginning to die off, and we cannot possibly control the air quality outside of our buildings. First Flight Middle School construction is not wood, but rather metal and concrete, pointing to outdoor climate being the culprit for the introduction of these elevated spore counts. The dispersion of the elevated counts being random and entire zones not being affected indicates that it's not in the HVAC system as a source. Humidity levels are maintained between 50 and 60%. A visual inspection of coils was conducted, and coils, fans, and condensate sups were regularly treated with antimicrobial cleaning solution. This further supports the source being from the outside environment. Between the maintenance and custodial staffs, they will also be looking at any possible leaks in cabinets or other wood-related features. And if any of your staff have any concerns, please follow up. We also followed up, as I alerted you to, that we were going to do some additional testing. That testing actually came back this morning. We did it over the weekend. The inspection this weekend in those specific areas that were highlighted in the air quality test to be retested. This is the printout that we received this morning. We'll get this on our site as well. Our inspection includes the following: measuring temperature and relative humidity indoors and outdoors, collecting representative non-viable spore trap air samples indoors and one outdoors for comparison, and providing a written report describing the survey results and comparing those results to accepted guidelines and directives. This inspection was limited to non-viable spore trap air samples that were collected from locations selected at random throughout the building, along with the temperature and relative humidity readings in those areas. The total fungal spore counts in the areas sampled indoors were lower than found in the outdoor air. The types of fungal spores found in the indoor air samples were all common outdoor type fungal present with low concentrations and no spike in water loss fungi. Therefore, the results suggested a normal indoor fungal ecology in areas sampled. The particulate that we see in the microscope at the magnification used is usually called core particulate and consists of many things that can include the following: dirt, dust, mold, pollen, fiber, hair, skin cells, dust mites, and other insects. This inspection was limited to indoor air quality parameters. The indoor air samples did not show a fungal amplification, or any altered indoor fungal ecology on this day. Relative humidity was in the recommended range. This inspection was limited to indoor air quality. Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide levels were within the normal recommended ranges. And just for your reference, the air quality sample that was taken outside of the building was, the spore count in that sample was 5,547 spores per cubic milliliter. The samples that were taken in those specific areas that were highlighted in the first air sampling that was done in First Flight Middle School, they went back to the same locations, were all rated as low to low moderate, and those air quality samples were in the range of 200 to 347. So considerably less from the first time. So I'm hoping that some of the things that we put in place to address that is having some positive outcomes. And that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Bassnight. The board will take a short recess and we'll convene in about 5 minutes. I'll call our meeting back to order. With that being said, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Brower approved a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Woody. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? Motion carries aye. Next, we'll turn it over to information and reports. Ms. Bothwell.
Yeah, I had, a couple of us had the pleasure of going to First Flight Elementary and Middle School to deliver donuts to the staff. It's kind of a fun day for all of them. They get some sugar in them and get the day off going right. And they're very appreciative, and we certainly appreciate them.
Next, Mr. Payne.
Yeah, same thing in N.C.G.S High School. They enjoyed seeing us. We enjoyed seeing them. The hardest part for them was we brought so many different types of donuts, they couldn't decide which ones to choose sometimes. They'd sit there and look at them and go, I don't know which one to take.
Take them all.
Take them all, yeah. So it's a lot of fun being in the schools, and they enjoy seeing us there. Thank you, Mr. Twitty.
Thank you. As Ms. Bothwell and Mr. Payne talked about N.C.G.S Elementary and First Light Elementary and First Light Middle, we also had the pleasure of going to Manteo Elementary and Manteo High School on May 31st. And When we arrived at Manteo Elementary School, the music was blaring. They had music playing. The kids were getting out of their parents' cars, off the school buses, dancing with a smile on their face. We went into the teacher's lounge, and what a surprise it was for them. They knew it was coming. It was emailed by Mr. Price, but when they were there and seeing what was laid out, they said, "What are we going to do with all these donuts?" I said, "Eat them up." And they really appreciate that the board took the time out that morning and showed up with a little donuts and a smile on our face and a support, which we do each and every day. We support our staff, and it was really nice. When we left Manteo Elementary, we arrived at Manteo High School. Music wasn't blaring, but the teachers were engaged, glad to see it was a Friday afternoon after all the testing that they're required to do that particular day, that week for the students. That was their actually senior class trip. So some of the staff went on the senior class trip, but Mr. Luciano had us a teacher assistant, basically Miss Mary, to give us a tour of the facility. And she took us in various classrooms up and down the hall. And there were so many great things that was going on at Manteo High School, but one of the was pointed out to us is our carpentry program. They were able, first time in many years, to keep a staff member in that classroom, and how pumped they were to have a building finally finished. It was a small shed, and the students were so excited about sharing and showing what they did through this year of building this particular building, and actually got another one started for next year. So amazing day. All of them has been an amazing day, and showing what we have throughout since January for all the schools that we've been and seen, and took the donuts and the support staff, and very well done. They were so excited for us to be there. So just say thank y'all. Tonight, we have no administrative reports. So with that being said, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Ms. Hitch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have a second reading of the proposed policy manual updates. You'll see those policies there, those, I think, 7 policies there. And they have all been through the policy committee process and vetted prior to coming to the board, and we have received no additional questions on them.
I've received a request from Ron on 1310, the parental involvement one, and we were able to agree to put that back in. But for the most part, all the ones on second read, we were all pretty good with. I'll wait till we get to the first read, but the other ones were first read.
Yep. So is there a motion?
Yeah, we recommend that we approve this on second read.
So we have a motion on the floor by Ms. Balance. So I have a second. Second by Ms. Bothwell. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Ms. Hitch?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The second item under unfinished business is consideration of the contract with Pointer Sproul, and we have presented a contract to the board for its review.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. We approve the contract with Pointer Sproul for an additional 2 years.
I second that.
Motion by Ms. Balance, second by Mr. Payne. Any further discussion?
I would like to say too, that you guys have stepped up on so many levels to help us and our school system stay above board, especially with all these policies that have come out with the Parents' Bill of Rights. And it's much appreciated, the availability you've given us to be there when we've had so much going on. So thank you.
Anyone else like to make a discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to agree. Every time that we call their office, they answer. And they're always available for us. So, great job. And glad to have them on board again for 2 years.
So I have, say aye.
Aye.
Everybody? All right. No other discussion. Any negative? Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, might I add, we are appreciative and we consider it an honor to do the business and the legal work for the Dare County Schools. So we're so grateful that we get to have you guys in your communities as clients.
Thank you, Ms. Hitch. Next, we'll move to new business. I'll turn the meeting back over to Ms. Hitch.
It's me again. These are for A under new business. Mr. Chair, we have first reading of proposed policy manual updates, and these will work their way through the policy committee process and become a recommendation in the future, but you don't have to approve them tonight.
I would like to add to, so one of the ones we went over, 3320 for school trips. We did ask, Steve Blackstock is looking into checking with some administrators on this information, just to make sure that we're in line with not just what we practice, what we preach. So to make sure that those are in line. And also Ron had requested us that we look into a policy on AI. And Rachel, the other Rachel, had also had this feedback from other districts. And so we do currently have a policy 4310 under section A2 prohibited behavior that kind of touches on that a little bit, but we've recognized, and thank you, Ron, for realizing that we maybe need to be a little bit more detailed in that. So we will be, there. You guys are doing a little more research. We're bringing Holly King in on the next policy meeting to do a little more deep dive on that. And so we will be looking to possibly have a new policy on how we use AI in Dare County schools.
Mr. Chair, we also just received some updates from the state as well on their policy with use of AI. So we'll incorporate those into your next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be kind of chasing moving target on that for the next couple of years, but
for sure,
getting on it now is important.
I agree with you all. It certainly is. All right, next we'll be, just want to let everyone know that we will be having a special call meeting on Monday, June 24th, 2024 at 12 o'clock. That's just a financial closeout that we have every year that Ms. McGinnis and our financial staff has to do their paperwork for the Department of Public Instruction and other entities for the finance purpose of ending our school year. So we will have that meeting on Monday, June 24th, 2024, 12 o'clock. Well, at this time, we're talking about having it at central office, and some of the board members will be calling in via email or video remote. So this will conclude our business meeting, and I'm going to open the floor for everyone to make comments. Mr. Payne, would you like to start?
Thank you, Mr. Twitty. To the student advisors, welcome. The hardest part of your job's already done is reciting the oath. That was difficult. I know it's scary for you guys, but welcome. We're glad you're here. It's going to be an exciting year, and we're looking forward to working with you. Graduations we just had this past weekend, phenomenal. First Flight was great. Hatteras was great. Manteo was great. They're all great. I will say the venue for Manteo High School has got to be the best, Mr. Superintendent. I think you mentioned that. What an honor it is to have graduation at the Lost Colony Theater. That's wonderful. But all the graduations were great. The aviation class I'm excited about. We're building an airplane on the grounds where powered flight was first done, and this time next year that plane's going to fly. That's going to be the coolest thing ever. I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, one other thing. Mr. Bass Knight, new school year starts in about 60 days.
It's already started.
Ms. Balance?
I just want to also welcome you guys. It was a pleasure to interview each of you, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to work with you guys over the summer and into the new school year. Graduations were phenomenal, and unfortunately, this is my last 3 graduations on stage, but it's just such an honor to be able to watch you guys, watch them cross the stage and enter into the excitement and everything it's just such a inspiration to see that young people so excited about their future. But it's always, every year we have different number of kids graduating, but all 3 graduations are about the same amount of time, which is really interesting to me, but they really are almost exactly an hour and 20 minutes. So, but I hope everybody has a restful summer and can dodge the traffic. And look forward to seeing everybody next year. Enjoy your summer.
Mr. Woody?
Yeah, congratulations, advisor. Gonna have an interesting year, providing us information on what's happening in the schools. Again, graduation was outstanding at all three schools. I'm looking forward to next year. We've got the leadership that's moving us in the right direction, and I'm excited about it.
Bothwell?
I'm just going to iterate what everybody already said. Welcome to all of you. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to really love it. You really will. It's a lot of fun. I totally enjoyed watching the first advisors mature and grow and learn, and I'm hoping the best for all of you too. It's nice to have 6, actually. And to graduations, yes, they were my last 3 also, but very special, and it was really nice to see our first advisors graduate this year and how excited they were and the accolades they received. That was wonderful. And also touch on the aviation class. That to me is beyond. It's just the coolest thing. I can't wait to see that thing fly. So that's it. Thank you.
Mr. Wicker?
Yeah, congratulations to the student advisors. Congratulations to the student advisors. Glad to have you guys on board. During Dare Days too, Manteo Elementary School brought a group of kids over and they did their solar powered boat races again. And that was good to watch. Probably about 15, I guess probably about 15. So it's always fun to watch them try to get started, and the sun hits them just right, they work, but if they get behind the flag, they stop. So anyway, that was great. So that's all I have.
Mr. Brower?
Yeah, I'd like to welcome our student advisors. I was on the committee that interviewed everyone, and we had a lot of fantastic candidates, and we felt that you all were the best, and we're looking forward to working with you. Having had the opportunity to attend all 3 high school graduations, I'm always amazed at how unique each school is. Yeah. And this is certainly reflected in the graduation ceremonies. They're all very similar, but there's just a little something. There's a personality almost that's different. It's certainly bittersweet to say goodbye to the class of 2024, particularly our student advisors. Annabella and Sherilyn just gave great speeches at the ceremonies. I'm excited to see what the future holds for them and for their classmates. And everybody have a good, safe summer.
Thank you. Madison, I see you around the, Emerson, excuse me. I'm looking over here. I see you around there. It's your turn now, buddy. How would you got any comments for us?
See. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
I would just like to thank the whole Board of Education for honoring me with this role. Thank you.
I would also like to thank you guys, Board of Education. Very honored to take this role, and I'm excited to work with you all in the next coming year. I think we can go far.
I also want to thank you guys for this opportunity, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
Well, I'd like to thank the advisors. Welcome. We're looking forward to working with you this year. As I said earlier, I'd like to thank our board for the work that we put into not only during our board meetings, but behind the scenes. As you all know, it's not just coming up here one evening a month to make this very critical, necessary decision. So I appreciate all the hard work that's behind the scene. And back to our high school graduates, congratulations. It was a wonderful Friday afternoon and all day Saturday for our students. And like other board members said, each school is unique. And watching the students that got recognized in so many different fields of their accomplishments, what they've done in their 4 years of being in Dare County schools to make them the next step that they choose to be in this world is unbelievable. And I'm so proud standing up here tonight, knowing that our Board of Education has worked hard and along with our county commissioners to provide that opportunity for their education. So with that being said, do I have a motion? Yes.
If I could.
Sure.
One, I want to tell y'all, my perspective, because, I think each of the board members talked about how being an advisor to the board is going to impact you. But what I find really, really neat about all this is the impact that you have on them. And watching each of these board members celebrate the three advisors that graduated at each of their graduations, it was almost like one of their family was graduating, and they were thrilled and they clapped and applauded up on the stage, and it was really cool to watch. But this isn't just about you, because please know you're going to have an impact on them, and that's what I treasure about this opportunity. So take this seriously. I know you will, and thank you for doing it. I did want to notify the board of two things. The Manteo High School track resurfacing project has already begun. They're working on that now, and they'll move right directly from that to the tennis courts to repair those 3 sinkholes in the tennis courts. And the First Flight Middle School resurfacing, regrassing of the athletic fields behind that field is also already in process. So Ian has got the maintenance department, and the county's got the Parks and Rec department rolling already. So yeah, we're already working on next year. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bass Knight. Do I have a motion on the floor to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ms. Bothwell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Balance. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any nay? Motion carries. Y'all have a good night. Travel safe.